everyone. Nicky Hawkins, West Ham Fan TV, live and uncut. Every Thursday, you'll catch me and my old pal Ryan Archer over here talking about all sorts of different nonsense. There's normally football to talk about, but not this evening. So
there ain't been football to talk about for ages, mate.
How you doing, mate? All right.
Yeah, all right. I'm just like the rest of the world at the moment, just trying to keep safe and, just like everyone. And, yeah, it's difficult times at the moment. But, yeah, we'll get through it. Just got to remember to stay home.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope everyone out there is safe and well. What do you think? The title of the video, we'll get into it nice and early. 20 years ago today, mate, I was at Upton Park. I was there. I was witnessing one of the best goals I've ever seen, if I'm honest. I can see a few comments coming in already. It was obviously the one against Wimbledon, Paolo Di Canio. My favourite player of the modern era, that's for sure. Scoring an almost inch-perfect goal. What do you remember about that day, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's one of the all-time greatest goals in only West Ham's history. I mean, I know the title is in West Ham's history, and it probably is West Ham's greatest goal. But in the terms of iconic Premier League goals, it's up there, and it will be for years and years, decades. Whenever they show the top 10 goal all time in the Premier League era, Di Canio's is going to be up there. Why I like this goal more than your average volley is because you don't see anyone else do it. You can see the Scholes. Scholes used to hit them outside the box. Beckham and all them types of players. Thierry Henry scored great volleys over the years, but the Canio's one was just the whole move. The ball from Foe to Sinclair's pinpoint cross, and Di Canio, it wasn't luck because, as Joe Cole and Harry Redknapp have said over the last few days, he used to do it in all the time. Oh, and it was unbelievable. It was against a great goalkeeper as well, Neil Sullivan, at the time.
I mean, listen, I've been there for a lot of good goals. I mean, I've seen goals such as I've seen a couple of Trevor Sinclair's ones that they was up there. I've obviously been there for Andy Carroll's one at the London Stadium. Dimitri Payet obviously has scored a couple of absolute bangers in his time. But for me, this one was my best goal. I think it was my favourite goal of all time. And I put ones up there like from Van Basten and Sinclair when he was at QPR, that overhead kick, and Roberto Carlos's free kick and all of that. I'll put this one up there because if you look at the way he takes it in his stride, if you look at the way that ball comes over, that's got to be a 30-yard ball as well. And he doesn't even break stride, and it's one swift movement. It's bang up, scissor kick, bosh. And the most amazing thing is he's scored that with the outside of his right boot. Now that makes it even more special because if it hit it in the inside, it's obviously going to have that curl inside. Hitting it with the outside of the boot to swerve it away from Sullivan that way, so he can't reach it, but still reach the corner. I think it'll be one of the best goals anybody ever scores in their lifetime. That's my personal opinion, anyway.
It's a great technique, and to be honest, if it was someone like Thierry Henry would have scored that goal, they'd be talking about it a lot more. But Di Canio was a genius. I mean, that team at the time was just full of so much talent, but Di Canio was just like he was unbelievable. And as we said, he used to try it all the time in training, and it wasn't a fluke. He meant that. And as you said, you're off the floor, both feet off the floor, and the connection was perfect. The timing was perfect. The ball from Sinclair was perfect. I mean, not many people talk about the ball from Sinclair, but that was a great cross. And as you said, Sinclair used to score. I mean, I remember a goal against Charlton that he scored Upton Park on Boxing Day when he controlled it with his knee and volleyed it top corner. And there was another one against Derby. I remember when we took a corner and it didn't even touch the floor. They knocked it to Joe Cole. Joe Cole Joe Cole flicked it back to Sinclair, and Sinclair scissor kicked it.
I remember another good one against. I remember another good one against Tottenham when he done 1-2 with someone and then bent it in the far corner with the outside of his foot.
I remember that game because that put us second in the table at the time.
Yeah,
when we beat Spurs.
Sorry, I'm going to change my settings here because I'm getting a lot of background noise.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, we was both there for Andy Carroll's volley scissor kick, and that was unreal. And that's probably the best goal at the London Stadium. But in terms, I mean, look, I'm a bit biased because technically, yeah, Di Canio's goal was probably the best, but I've probably got a few more favourites. Not many, but I remember a 30-yard Julian Dix against Man City at home where he smashed it top corner. And being as he was my hero at the time, it's that would always be my favourite goal, because I was there that day when he scored when we beat City 4-2. But there's also, look, love him or hate him, Dimitri Payet scored some unbelievable goals for West Ham, especially that freak against Crystal Palace. And I still, to this day, don't know how he got that up and over as he did. The goal at Old Trafford in the quarter-final, unbelievable to pay up 34 yards at the time. Unreal. But for technique-wise, Di Canio it's going to take a lot to beat that.
What about this one? Thomas Lonergan. Ravel.
Yeah, look, Ravel's goal was unreal, to run it from the halfway line, take it around 3 or 4 players, and then to dink it over Reece the way he did. And just that day was perfect all round because we played without a striker and we went to White Hart Lane and won 3-0. That was a great individual goal, but you're talking ability-wise, the from Canio was I can't believe it was 20 years ago today, mate. It's the years are flying, and to think that was 20 years ago, and people forget that day was obviously Canute's debut, which he scored on, and there was another great goal in that game as well, Michael Hughes for Wimbledon. It was a great strike. It was a great game of football that day.
Was you there?
I weren't there. No, I was at a football presentation that day. It was probably one of the biggest regrets of my life. But going back 20 years ago, I was what? I was 16 at the time. You miss one game of West Ham, you don't expect something like that to happen. But many great Canio performances down the years, but that was probably one of my biggest regrets was missing it. But it was a presentation at the Golfer at the Beckton, so
I was there. I was there. I was at the game
presentation, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was. Well, I was at both. Then I must have come.
Your volume's gone off, mate. He's gone silent. Right, as Nicky's left. Yeah, I mean, let me get some comments up. Because I can see him coming up at the side, but Nicky usually chucks on. So look. Yeah, Bobby Zamora's away to Birmingham. Unbelievable goal. Here he is. You back, mate? How comes we're switched side?
I don't know whether it's... Hold on, 1 second.
I can hear you now. We can all hear you.
I don't know what's going on.
What is the time?
We can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, we should be back.
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's gone all dark. What's going on? I don't know what's going on.
Fucking hell. This is why it's called Live Uncut.
I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, so I was just saying Bobby Zamora's away to Birmingham. Remember the one where he flicked it over the defender, rolled it through his legs, and then rolled it under the goalkeeper?
That was at home, wasn't it?
No, that was at Birmingham.
Was it? I thought I was there for that one. I must not.
Nah, you weren't there.
Yeah, I actually no. I remember watching that one on the TV. There's all sorts of brilliant goals. There's all sorts of brilliant goals that we've scored over the years. I remember. Let's talk about individual performances. What's the best individual performances that you've ever seen?
Individual performances.
What
probably Tevez was a great. Carlos Tevez against Spurs. We won. Lost 4-3, but it was Tevez's first goal. Ravel Morrison against Spurs.
Di Canio versus Chelsea, 2001.
Yeah, Di Canio versus Chelsea. Andy Carroll versus Arsenal at the Polin when we drew 3-3.
No, that was a good one. That was an unbelievable. That was unbelievable performance. That one. Yeah. What other ones is there? Individual performances. There's been Colton Cole. What was that goal by Colton Cole when he fucking flicked it up? I think it was against Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday.
What one? Well, flicked and turned and hit.
Yeah, that was
against Tottenham.
Oh yeah, no, there was one against Sheffield Wednesday or something like that. I don't know. I haven't fucking researched it, to be quite honest. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's been so many great performances. I mean, you could Antonio, you know, he's put in a few good performances for us.
Vazte versus Blackpool playoff final.
Vazte yeah, I mean, that's probably the most important goal in West Ham's recent history. Because without that goal, you know, we wouldn't have come up, and who knows, we could have stayed in the Premiership a few years.
Di Canio goal at home to Arsenal where he skinned Keown with his first touch. Now I remember that goal. I remember because I think it was that season. I think it was like 97, maybe a bit longer than that. 97, 98, 98, 99.
That was the 98-99 season when we beat them 2-1 at home.
I think it was, yeah. But it was 1 year. There was 1 year. I remember 1 year in about, I think it might have been 97, 98, this one, where we played them about 5 times, Arsenal. And we just couldn't get there. And I'll tell you who's still with us then, John Hartson, because he played a lot of games. And we matched them. We lost a couple, I think, and we won a couple. But we played them about 5 times. I'll tell you another good goal. I just remembered it. Ian Pearce, last-minute equaliser against Tottenham. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Left foot, top corner, top bins.
Yeah, I mean, there's been so many great goals.
Another great goal, Dean Ashton against Man United.
Yeah, do you know what? I was literally just about to say that. I was just about to say Dean Ashton against Man United at Old Trafford. And not many people get clapped when they score at Old Trafford by opposition fans, but I think it's because they was like 4-0 up at the time or whatever it was. But yeah, it was unreal, unbelievable finish. What's that?
Yossi Benayoun goal. I think it was against Fulham where he just kept turning one way then the other, then chipped the goalkeeper. I remember that game was especially special because there was 2 fucking world-class goals in that one. That was the game where I think it was Anton Ferdinand turned and spun on the half buddy, and it went in the top bins, and then he done that. Yeah. I remember that game. I think that was Repka's last game, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, it was Tom Repka's last game for us.
Stan Lazaridis versus Newcastle. What a rocket, says Tom Acker.
Yep.
Scott Parker against Chelsea.
Yeah, Scott Parker at Stamford Bridge. That was a great goal. So most of these goals I'm remembering that we lost the game. So it's always like we get a consolation goal, but a great goal.
Happy Leon, good evening, Nicky. How you doing with dollars? What? Sorry to hear you were made redundant. Can send you some dollars, Western Union, so can shop? Oh no, honestly, I'm fine, mate. I'll be okay for a little while. Thank you for the offer, though. Pedro Albion versus Spurs. I forgot about that.
We were right behind that when he hit that. And,
mate, that was a rocket.
That was a rocket. Yeah, that's what you call a rocket, as they say. But I'm just trying to think.
Hull.
Yeah, and a Valencia against Hull. There's been so many down the years, and it's been nice that we've actually witnessed some of them. But I mean, when you look down the years, I know he's obviously your favourite player of all time, and look, my favourite player of all time is Julian Dix, but that's for different reasons. But for the best player I've ever seen in a West Ham shirt, it's tough because like Di Canio was a legend for us, great, but that season with Payet was just unreal. For me, he was one of the best players if not the best player in Europe at that time. He had the world at his feet, and some of the stuff he was worth entrance fee just to go and see him. But got long West Ham, so I'll put Di Canio just in front of Payet. But honestly, is he unblocked?
Galaxy Techno Beats. Hey guys, I'm back. It's great to see you since in a while. Thanks to Dan Lawless for blocking me and Marshmallow Gaming for the request. Galaxy, listen, mate, I don't know what's happened there. You honestly didn't need to donate £5. We're glad to have you back. We don't know what happened. We couldn't unblock you. We couldn't work it out. So if Dan's worked it out, well done. Well done, Dan.
Do you know what? Block him again because he should have put a tenner in. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. Nice to have you back.
Raymond Rossiter says Trevor Sinclair against Derby.
That's the one I was talking about. Derby.
Derby.
No, that was the one I was talking about. Where I'm sure that's the one where Joe Cole flicked it on from a corner, and it was just a great all-round move. But I'm just trying to think some other great goals that might even top it. But I mean, if you look through the Premier League, there's obviously, you look at Wayne Rooney's goal against Man City. There's just so many. Thierry Henry against Man United, where he's back to goal and he's flicked it and smashed it top corner. Liverpool. Van Persie against Aston Villa when they won the league that year. There's so many great goals, but Di Canio's for me will. And it's mad because if you remember that weekend, we played on the Sunday, and on the Saturday, Paul Scholes scored that volley against Bradford City, and they said no goal will beat that. This will be goal of the season. And literally the next day, Di Canio done that. So it was beat Everton at Arsenal. Sorry, yeah, that's my mate Lee's big Arsenal fan. He still give Matty him for in the win when we beat him. Last team at the Emirates. Last team at Ivory, first at the Emirates.
Don't like Nicky on the right on the screen. I'm used to him on the left, says Gary Page. Sorry, mate, I had to go out again. But since I've come in, it's gone like dark. Like I'm sitting in the dark. I promise I'm not sitting
Let me both come out. And then we'll both come back in. See? Hang on.
Hey.
There you go. Oh, look, it's back on the fucking.
It's still dark.
So
it's dark. I swear on my life, there's a light on. Look, I can show you.
You've got to pay your bills, mate. Pay your bills.
Look, there's a light on. I can promise you it's a light on.
I've just seen someone in the comments say that, obviously, about Trevor Brooking, but I never see Trevor Brooking play, unfortunately. So for me, I'm just talking about in my era of the players I've seen. Scott Parker was a great player for us.
I'm listening, mate.
What was he hammering it 3 times, wasn't he? Not that he had to really up against him at the time, but he was a great player for us. But yeah, for me, Dimitri Payet was probably the player I've seen in the West Ham shirts. You can.
Absolutely. 1 minute, man. I'm just putting a light on.
I changed it.
Right, that should be better. Hello, can you see me now?
Yeah, just about. I'm joking. Yeah, we can see you.
Jesus. There's nothing like live, is there? I'll tell you what, mate. Let's talk.
That's why it's called Live Uncut, mate.
We'll talk a little bit about
what? Go on.
A meeting today, Premier League meeting. All lower league clubs have had their season. That's it. Cut. That's it. No relegation, no promotion, no champions. That's everyone underneath the lower league north, the north and south. What are they called? The lower league. What are they called?
I think National League, isn't it? Is it National Leagues?
National League, yeah. Sorry, before we get into that, Matthew Warren, are you clapping for the NHS at 8? Yes. It was better when you was in the dark. Yeah, so everyone underneath there has been, their seasons have been voided. There's no champions, there's no relegation, nothing.
Yeah, I think you're going to find that over the next few weeks. A lot of things are going to start doing. I think don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure the MLS have just done it as well. I think you'll see Spain follow suit very quickly. Italian football, and it won't be long. I think that's it for football, mate, for a very long time. I can't even see there was a part of me that was thinking maybe the Premier League might come back, but I don't think it will. I mean, they've already turned around today and said that it won't be back on the 30th of April. We knew that anyway. But I just think that it's not going to come back this season, mate, and it will be null and void. And we're just after, season will just be scrapped from the history.
Do you think
which is a shame, really?
How long do you think it will be? Do you think they'll be gearing up towards next season now? Because if they've already done that with that, obviously there's so much money involved in this at the moment with the Premier League and all of that sort of thing. They're going to obviously hold this out until their very last, until they can't, there's no other corner to turn. Because I can't see this being completed. They've got
to have some sort of cut-off point, in they? They can't just, they've got to say, right, if it's not ready to play by, say, I don't know, June, and they have to, because then it eats into it. Then you'll always be playing catch-up. So, as I said, I do feel sorry, because obviously, look, Liverpool have been unbelievable this season. But I listened to Liverpool fans on the radio earlier, and they were saying, look, health and life is more important than football. So I think the hardcore Liverpool fans will tell you, look, we don't want to win the title this way. We'll go again next year. So it's teams like Sheffield United and Leicester that I feel a bit sorry for, and Wolves.
They're really going to suffer, aren't they?
Been in top four all season. Champions League money is a lot of money. But one thing I was thinking, like, if they do have to restart this season again, next season, will it be a new fixture list, or will they just do the same fixture list again? Just start it again?
No idea, mate. I've got no clue.
No teams go up, no teams go down. So
no, because in 6 minutes we've got to go outside and cheer on the platform.
Sorry, I've lost you there for a second. Mike Ashley is already asking fans to buy their season tickets. Mike Ashley also said Sports Direct workers are key workers and they need to go back to work. So that's what all that tells you about Mike Ashley. Right, we're going to be finished in 5 minutes. Keep questions coming in, guys. What do you think will happen with our season tickets? I think now, I'll be honest with you, mate. I think there's a clause in the contract that says if it's something natural that does it, I don't think we get nothing, to be honest with you. I don't know whether they'll stand by that. They'll
obviously take it off a next season ticket, I think. Well, whatever games you had left, it's 5 games left. I think they'll just have to that off next season prices. But knowing our owners, mate, they'll probably up the prices to
be fair, mate. There'll probably be a meeting around the Premier League, and it's it's up to them what they want to do. If they all decide to do it together, which they're entitled to do, it's in the terms and conditions. I'll be honest with you, I'm not thinking about that at the moment. I'm not thinking about that at all. I'm quite happy to stay away from the football as long as it's saving people's lives. As I said before, I wasn't even that bothered about getting the money back or whatever for the tickets we've paid for, because there's more important things in life at the moment to be worrying about.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. There's more to life than football, and at the moment with what's going on, everyone's priority is just getting rid of this virus, and And then we'll just worry about it when worry about season tickets and that next when the football starts up again. I mean, I put out a tweet yesterday. I said, just imagine that first Saturday back at the London Stadium, love or hate it, when you can just go to football, everything's back to normal, and you can go and have a pint with your mates. How levels going to be when they first walk out on that first match day back. So it's something to look forward to, and it's something we can cling on to.
Right, we're going to start wrapping it up there, mate, because everyone wants to go outside for 8 o'clock. Before we go, we've got these glasses available. There's a limited run at the moment of 100 of them, and by the way the comments are going on the Twitter and that, there ain't going to be many available. They're going to be priced at about £7.99 plus postage and packaging. If you want one, get in quickly because the comments in the Facebook and the Twitter are going mad. So if you want one, get your fucking thingies in. We will bring them back, but they won't be till much later. You got me right?
Yeah. Go on.
Right, we're going to finish up there because everyone wants to go outside to clap. Thank you very much for watching this video.
I was going to say, are we coming back on because I had more stuff to talk about? But all right, come on, go on.
Oh, that's all right. We can come back if you want.
Yeah, no, I didn't know. Go on.
No, go on, mate. It's up to you. What do you want to do? Should we go off and then come back?
Yeah, no, we can just we can go outside. We can just come out of the stream.
Yeah, remove yourself from the screen and we'll come back in 2 minutes. We'll be back in 2 minutes then because we've got more stuff to say.
Hello?
Hello.
You all right, mate?
Right, we're back.
Yeah, you ready to go in?
Yeah, we're in already. We're still live. Right, here we go.
All right.
Yeah, we're back. Right. Thank you all for hanging around. 2 minutes. Obviously, round of applause. It was popping off out where I live.
Yeah, when I went outside there, it was fucking mental. It's good. Good, mate. They deserve it. They deserve everything.
Absolutely.
All the praise they get.
Right, what else were we talking about?
Yeah, no, I wanted to quickly talk about Antonio, obviously, with the bet, wearing the Tottenham shirt. I've seen him get a lot of stick. Some people call him a Judas and shouldn't have done it. Look, the way I see it is a bet's a bet at the end of the day. It was only a friendly bet, and I thought what Antonio done at the end was great, not having having his West Ham shirt underneath. And look, if he'd have won, then Sessegnon would have had to do the same. So look, a bet is a bet, but for people comparing him to people like Ince and things like that and Lampard, it's a bit of I think they put a bit over the top there.
I see people saying that he should be sacked and all sorts.
Yeah, some people saying that he should never play in the first team again. I mean, like, come on, get a life. With everything going in this world at the moment, they're worried about because Antonio's put on a Tottenham shirt.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Sorry, I'm trying to get a drink. It's ridiculous. No, I see people saying he should never play for West Ham again and all that. Come on, man. As you say, it's a bet's a bet. But I'm going to tell you nothing. I'll tell you something now. There was no chance he was winning that because he was fucking useless. I'll tell you that for nothing. I'm a bit of a FIFA connoisseur myself, you know what I mean? But
I see the highlights. I didn't watch it live. I see the highlights of it, and yeah, I mean, look, I know nothing about FIFA. I don't play FIFA, and so yeah.
RuneScape says Serie A standings could be final. Maybe that's something that they'll bring in the Premier League. I don't know how that can be fair, to be honest, but
well, if they do, we're safe. So I'm in that. I'm in that. If we was in the bottom three, I'll probably be kicking off. But yeah, you're right. There's 9 games to go, and I think it's Aston Villa's got a game in hand. So, and if they win that, they go out the bottom 3. So whether it's a difficult one. Whatever they decide is not going to please everyone. So it's a tough decision to make.
Charlie Walsh wants the pixel back. Sorry, Charles. It's gone, mate. It's disappeared. JP WHUTV sorted that one out. Terence Crane says it was only a laugh. I thought it was funny. Yeah, it's it is a bit of a friendly banter at the end of the day. I challenged Expressions. If Expressions is watching, he was tweeting out yesterday about how much he wanted to play people on FIFA and all that. And he's got all this set up sent to him by all these companies. And I said to him, listen, I want revenge for my boy. You want to play me? Let's go. Didn't respond.
Yeah, well, I'm not being funny. There's you got enough time to sort that out at the moment because it's difficult at the moment with content because there is nothing to really talk about. I mean, I'm just trying to look through West Ham stories at the moment, and there is literally nothing. I mean, there's a couple of transfer. I mean, the main one this week is Declan Rice, obviously linked with Chelsea. That's a difficult one, isn't it? Because as I said the other day, when we done the Patreon Q&A, if the money's right and Declan Rice wants to leave, then we can't. He's one, unfortunately. But I don't think Declan Rice does want to leave. Personally, I think at West Ham he's a future captain. He's a main player for us, and he's the sort of player you build your team around. And he's only 21 years old. He's got 5 years left on his deal. He probably needs an improved contract because when bigger teams come in, you have to reward these players to get them to stay. And Declan Rice, I think, is only on about $30,000 a week. When you get people like Jack Wilshere that have taken 100 odd grand a week off of us, get rid of that Wilson and the money Declan Rice.
Yeah, absolutely. Philip Di Michele says, how much housework have you done whilst in isolation? Not enough, mate. No. Not enough. Forever blowing bubbles. I in Newcastle have charged and taken money out of their season ticket holders for next season. Yeah, if that's true, I'm sort of 90% sure that that's going to be some sort of like automatic thing, and they already had that set up, and they've just forgotten to sort that out. I mean, in a lot of cases, they haven't even like announced about next season yet. I mean, how can you announce about next season when you ain't got this season done? But I would imagine, looking at the dates now, was it the 1st of April? West Ham would have been sort of thinking about sending out letters about now and automated emails and things like that about next season and the pricing for next season and all that sort of thing. And it was probably an automatic thing. I would imagine some of them would get refunds. James Healy says, do you think pre-season in Oz will go ahead? It all depends. It all depends
Probably
on.
Not.
I would say no.
I can't see there being this country people being allowed to travel until sort of June, July time, and I think it's better that the players stay here for pre-season. It's a shame they can all. I know there's a lot of fans out in Australia that will be absolutely gutted, and I know there's people that's already booked to go out there, but it's something they can do next pre-season if it comes to it, like the year after.
JP WHTV says, Nicky, your mum's got the virus.
That's that fake account, isn't it?
Hey?
That's the fake account. That ain't JP.
No, I don't think JP would say that.
But you know what I mean? You laugh at things like that. It's a stupid fucking comment, isn't it?
Absolutely. My mum's out working still, so she might have the virus. You don't know, do you? And if she doesn't survive, that's a fucking stupid thing to say. I'm gonna block him.
Block him? You want to wring his fucking neck, but you never find out who it is because he's a fake account. Stupid mug.
I've seen Kev WHUFC says, I've seen goals that I'd love to see again from the 70s. I'd like to see all through COYI and McAvenny's goals.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he goes on to crossdammers.com, you can get all the season reviews off of there and probably see all them goals again.
He's got loads of stuff on there. Absolutely loads of stuff. Migsy says, sell Rice for £100 million, no less. Listen, we're in a position. We've got 5 years on his contract, mate. If someone wants to buy him, that's what they've got to pay for him. Because not only is he a world class player, he is he's also ours for 5 years. So,
I agree. Between 90 and 100 million is the minimum in today's market for someone like Declan Rice, England national. As I said, he's only 21. He's made over 100 Premier League appearances for West Ham. Not many 21-year-olds make that many appearances at that age. He's in the team week in, week out. He's a great player. I know he gets fans, but we see him week in, week out. We see what he does. They see highlights on a match of the day.
Can't sell Rice, says RXG69. Is too valuable. But what about Anderson? Now that's a question, isn't it?
Well, I was just about to talk about him next. Apparently, they're looking to sell him next season. I think that's ridiculous. Unless we get a decent off coming for him, But I'd like to see us keep him. He was good last season. He's had an off season this year, and he's not the only one. But David Moyes don't seem to have taken to him. I do sometimes, have to question David Moyes sometimes with the way he just drops players. He done it for Niles when Foles was in good form. He played Lanzini, kept playing him when Lanzini was poor. Now he's dropped him. Fornell's back in the team. Now Anderson's out of the team. I know Anderson got injured, but he's got to give him a chance at least.
I'll be honest with you. If he's going to be our long-term manager, which is, I know he's only got another year on his contract and all of that, and he's going to have to be given a chance to forge his own team. And if Anderson isn't part of that plan, and I could totally understand. I can totally understand where he comes from Anderson. I've never been Anderson's biggest fan, to be quite honest with you. Even last season when he was scoring all them goals, blows too hot and cold for me. He's don't get me wrong, he is a well beater at times. He is an absolute superstar. But there's so many times when he just isn't there, and he isn't like. And don't get me wrong, he does work hard. Maybe it's just the style of play that we've had to endure, especially under Pellegrini and stuff, where he's given too much responsibility in getting back. Because at first he was lazy, and now he's gone so far the other way that it's difficult to grasp, isn't he? Because he isn't in the positions that you want him to be in the positions. And if he wants someone that's a little more, I don't know what the word, what can you be? You know what I mean? A little bit more rounded is the word, I would say. I would suggest getting a new left back, to be honest.
I think David Moyes likes to. He's not really keen on these flair players, is he? He likes the players that get stuck in, but you can't have too many of them in your team. You've got to mix it up a bit, and I mean, I'll be very surprised if we do sell Anderson, and to be honest, I think I'd be a bit disappointed if we did sell him as well.
I don't think I would be. I've never really taken to Anderson too much, to be honest with you. He's I don't know. It's too hot and cold, and he's more cold than hot, to be honest with you. If we got a big offer for him, I think I'd take it, to be honest.
Yeah, if someone come in with, I'd say 30 plus.
I would be saying 60 because we paid 45 for him.
Yeah, but I think in today's market, you know what our owners are like, though. They just take us whatever we can. You know, you think about we sold Payet for what, 20 odd million, 25.
Moyes worries me the way he drops players out. He started playing Fornals, but initially after Fornals had been constantly improving until he became a regular starter. Then Moyes drops in for Lanzini. That's another one that could be on his way out. Manuel Lanzini. I mean, that would be a real shame because I don't think we've actually seen the real Manuel Lanzini since he had that injury, and I don't think in this league he may never be the same.
And this is what I was going to say, that if I had the choice to get rid of Lanzini or Anderson, I'd get rid of Lanzini over Anderson. I think Lanzini at the moment, which is a shame because he was a great player, and I love players like Lanzini. But for me, as you said, since that injury, and it's no fault of his own, it's just some players don't recover, and it's a shame. But I just think for me, Anderson would be more effective as a player. And I think Fornals is a perfect replacement for Lanzini. They're like for like, and Fornals is young, he's hungry, and he looks like he wants it more.
Rafael says we should have cashed in on Lanzini a few years back. Now that's all well and good to say, we should have cashed in on Lanzini a few years back. But let's be fair, if they'd have cashed in on him a few years back, there would have been absolute fucking uproar.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, Lanzini, when he was in his prime for us, when he was a joy to watch. You used to see him get that ball and run it past players, and it's a shame because when he got that injury, he lost 2 or 3 yards. And when an attacking player loses 2 or 3 yards, you notice it. You notice it a lot. If you're a defender and you lose 2 or 3 yards, you can sort of get away with it a bit more. But when you're an attacking player, you see him now. He takes it past players, and he doesn't get the ball.
Declan says Lanzini's a lot less with an Arnautovic gone.
Yeah. They had a good partnership together, didn't they, them two? And you find that sometimes, we might go out in pre-season or the transfer window and get a couple of players, and Lanzini might link up with them. It also depends. You remember when Lanzini first come to West Ham? He was lightweight. As soon as he got in that team with Payet alongside him, look, Payet upped everyone's games. But when the team was buzzing, Lanzini was at that free role. He could just get that ball and run and make it happen. And that's what he did.
Absolutely. Do you think Football with Brown, do you think the virus will help power transfer fees because clubs will lose millions until football is back?
Yeah, I think this. If there's anything good to come out of this sort of virus at the moment, it is that we will appreciate things a lot more in life. And yeah, with football, you got to look after the little clubs, the lower league clubs, because they're the backbone of British football. Premier League it's the best place to be. But then you go down to these lower league grounds and you look round, and I know we moan about the London Stadium and things like that, but you don't realise how lucky we are. Because in times like this, Premier League clubs will get through it, but lower league clubs are going to struggle. And I hope that they will find a way to, put a transfer cap or wages and that to sort of help out these lower league teams.
Even clubs like Leeds they're asking their players to take a 50% pay cut. It's because the Championship, for me, like lower league clubs, they obviously they depend on people getting through the gate. But the most dangerous one is the Championship, I think, because there are so many clubs there living beyond their means just because they're so close to the promised land, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You get up to the Premier League, you're getting £1 billion. You know what I mean? Over the next 3 seasons, whether you go down or not, because of parachute payments and all that sort of thing. So they're overspending to try and get to this place. Now, if they all of a sudden declared a season null and void, like imagine their wages, imagine the money that Leeds have spent, probably more than they can afford to spend in the current climate, trying to get up to the Premier League, and they're so close, and all of a sudden they go, nah, we're not going to promote anyone this year. It's going to be devastating for clubs like them. You know what I mean?
Premier League clubs do it as well. They overspend to stay in the league.
Yeah,
You look at teams like Norwich. No, not Norwich. Aston Villa, sorry. Come up and they spent over. They was one of the biggest spenders in the Premier League.
Fulham.
Fulham done it, and that's what happens. And as you said, Leeds have been trying for the last 16 years to get back into the Premier League. West Brom are obviously trying to get back up. Fulham are trying to get back up. They got relegated last season. As you said, they spent a lot of money. So it's tough. But then you go down to lower leagues and you look at teams like Southend at the moment that they're on the brink, and it's tough. It is tough, and I do feel sorry for these clubs. And as I said, you don't realise how lucky you are when you're in the Premier League.
Absolutely. Someone saying about Shamrock Rovers. Shout out Shamrock Rovers. Galaxy Techno Beat says, I'm telling you, I'm 18. I've only been to the bowling 9 times. I'll give literally anything away for me to be there on the final day against Man United 3-2. Listen, you've probably been over there watching it before you got over here. What can I say? There's only 35,000 people can say they was there that day, and thankfully we was one of them, and it's a day that we'll never forget. Thomas Longagan says, maybe this is a chance for us to give some youngsters a chance to prove themselves like Chelsea were forced to do.
Yeah, we've got some good youngsters at West Ham. There's a few out on loan this season. Obviously, Diagana, Cullen, Coventry, Trott. There's some decent young players coming through. You've also got Ben Johnson. So it'd be nice to see him get a try in the first team at least. And with David Moyes' comments the other day that he wants to buy young and British and he wants to bed in these youngsters, it's always good to hear. But whether they're ready for the Premier League or not is another question. But there's only one way you can find out, and that's chuck them in, because Ngakia has taken to it. So I'm sure there's a few other players that can take it.
Yeah. Station's talking about Manuel Lanzini. I think, like Michael Owen once said, once you have a few bad injuries, you're never the same, almost in 2 minds to go for a tackle. I think Lanzini is in that mindset and it's ruined his game. Yeah, I heard Michael Owen talked about that lately on a Jamie Carragher podcast, I think. I said, like, he was done at 19, which is, for a striker like him, it was a damn shame. I mean, he had a good career otherwise, but he could have been something else. Dieter, if you keep on going about Shamrock Rovers, mate, I'm going to have to ban you because it's just flooding the comments, please. Ngeki has to be our new right back now. Surely, says Emmanuel 08.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's another thing as well, isn't it? Because he was just getting into the first team and he was enjoying playing his football, and then obviously this has happened. But look, I'm sure once the football season starts up again, whether it's in a few months or next year or whenever, he'll still be at West Ham, and he will be our first choice right back.
Absolutely. I'm going to ban this guy. Sorry. Just keeps on going on and on and on. He's flooding the comments. I can't see what's coming in. I had to sit with Manx that night, says Chris Harris. The only way I could get a ticket was to go with my ex-boss, who was a season ticket holder at Old Trafford. Was fun listening to them. That'd be an interesting conversation, to be quite honest with you. I'd love to see what was going on in that night. Matt Powell, we're going to have to start wrapping it up now, boys. The most important thing to do when season restarts or starts again is giving Gaki a new improved long-term contract. I think his contract only runs till next year.
Yeah, I think they're going to offer him a new 1-year deal, but that's just ridiculous. Like, give him at least 2 or 3 years, because he's. Yeah, so I don't agree with that 1 year thing.
Carl Warnby says, still waiting for Tiny Temper, Nicky. I don't know what you're waiting for, mate. I don't know what you're talking about.
Didn't you sing it when you was drunk?
Probably. Zachary Allen says, you can't change what school you went to. Big up all my Essex school friends and Essex crew. Okay, Zachary, we'll big up your crew. KD Gaming, does Moore deserve to be our manager? I don't think he's done anything wrong at the moment, to be honest with you. He's got to have time to be bed in. It's bad football at times, but, you have to give a man the chance to set his own sort of standards.
Yeah. As I say, the 2 times he's come in, he's picked up someone else's team, innit? So if whatever is going to happen with this season, if it starts again, give him a transfer window and give him a bit of money and then just let him bring in his own players and judge him then.
Mick Killeen says, hi lads, who's your favourite all-time West Ham player? Mine's Paolo, which is...
mine's obviously Julian Dix.
Daddy, it used to be Marco Arnautovic.
Okay. Hammerwell 08 says, what about Souček? We've got to sign him permanently. If we don't go down, we have to.
Yeah, and I think he's happy. He seems happy. He wants to sign for the club on a permanent. So hopefully, that's another. Yeah, I mean, it's because obviously, if the season's null and void, then I suppose we do sign him.
We used to be able to do videos despite the lockdown. They're all going to have to be like this, I'm afraid. We can't get together, but we can do videos, yeah, of course. But we're struggling for things to talk about, to be quite honest with you.
It's not only us, though. I mean, you look at all the other sort of football channels, not only West Ham, but you look around all the other YouTube channels like the Liverpool boys, Arsenal. We're all struggling because it's hard at the moment, but we still need to keep content coming in because you'll just lose subscribers. So it's tough at the moment, but I'm sure we'll think of some stuff to do. We've got a few things planned to try to, keep you sort of entertained.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. Anything else?
No, that's it, mate. I mean, there's not much more to talk about, really, is there? I think we spoke about what there was to speak about, but hopefully there'll be something a lot more interesting to talk about next week.
Galaxy Centre says, looks like the Pixel's got the coronavirus. Yeah, it's gone. We've got a new camera now. Right, well, this is the last one. What do you think of Saudi Prince's offer to buy West Ham United?
I haven't heard them rumours, so I'm not sure. But if it is true and he's got billions to spend, then yeah, I'll definitely take that.
Okay, one more. Lewis Tucker, following Rice's comments about playing centre back again, would you move him back to centre back and sign another midfielder?
Once again, I mean, I haven't seen them comments, but if he's saying that he wants to go and play centre back again, I think he'd be mad. I think he's better in midfield. But look, he started off as a centre back, so we know he can play there. But I'd like to see him stay in midfield.
So would I. I think he's a brilliant midfielder. Right, that's it. Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV Live and Uncut. Thank you very much for sticking around. Clap for the NHS. We stopped for that. So I hope you guys all done that. We've got a Patreon. Go and sign up to our Patreon if you go on patreon.com and search for West Ham Fan TV. We're on now. Loads of benefits with that. 1st of April is when it all kicks in. So if you want to go and become a patron on there, there's loads of options there and sort of stuff like that. As I said before, I thought we was getting off air, but we've got some pint glasses. If you want to register your interest in them, DM us or no, comment under the link in the description. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Comment underneath our tweet to register your interest, because the people that are registering their interest there, we've only got 100 to start. Oh, shit. Nearly 99. We've only got 100 to start with with these glasses. So please, we've got our t-shirts. Of course, you can go and check them out. If you become a patron, you get a discount on them. Go and check out all our other content. We've got some stuff coming up. I'm going to start a football manager series very soon. So keep posted for that. I might be playing some FIFA as well. Also, the dog's going crazy. It wants his dinner. So I'm going to leave it there, boys. Ryan, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, no, I mean, just as we go, I'm going to put the NHS thing up again at like the message. So, yeah, I mean, that's it, mate. Thanks for this week's show, mate.
Thanks for having us.
You had me.
One thing I have to say.
Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.